Hello everyone and welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking about dairy tea compositions, like different various teas I've tried and my recommendations for certain variants of dairy, and just a little bit of a talk about dairy in general. So I'm running this tea composition for dairy because we get the best decrease and Daisy gets the best on every single team. She holds the regen for me. She also holds the unseen grower armor for me. She also increases crit damage. And pretty sure it's crit chance of deterrence, I'm pretty sure, but like that doesn't really matter. What really matters is getting the crit damage up, and filter is really good for the defense decrease to Link. She's always good. Liz boosts it up if I can actually show you. Liz boosts up Dairy's attack to 27,000. Without food, with food, it would be way higher, making her even stronger. So that's why I have Liz on the team guaranteed, or Daisy on the team guaranteed. But there are other options that you could throw in for, let's say, like a Daisy, the Bolter, or a Liz that could function similarly, but aren't exactly like what I would use personally. But if you don't have Daisy, you can supplement it with the many just get more crit damage. That's just what I'm using her for. So the thing about Daisy is that like you can expose the regen set, expose onto the armor, and personally my favorite, if you want more better regen, more power, then like if you want more magic charging, then you can go for Manny. Of course, Manny wouldn't be too bad for the situation. She does give a better defense boost, I think. But Daisy is really good with the melody book. She can lower crit resistances. She can give more crit. She just much more versatile than Manny, in my opinion. So she is mostly on every single team I usually like to do. I have Golder. If you don't have Golder, but you have the other two, you could supplement Golder for like another. But you probably supplement Golder for Manny. If you have Daisy, you can supplement Golder for Manny. There's more crit damage. I've seen people even do Dreadrin. But in my personal opinion, if I didn't have Golder, I would probably supplement Golder for a burst. Just so that way I could like get a burst and then do more damage on top of my Dairy. I also wanted to preferably burst really fast, like maybe like Gila or like maybe like the Ian. I don't know how fast the Ian bursts. I don't really play her that much. But maybe like Merlin would be really good as well. Like burst characters, if you want the combo out with Daisy, you also go with Merlin. I don't know. Yeah, you can also do DN. There's a Merlin burst or better for this team composition. I think Merlin burst. That's if you don't have Golder. If you don't have Liz, you can run Ciore as like an option. Ciore is always the second option. Used to be the first option. Now Ciore is the second option. So, yeah, that's why I would run over those characters. So it basically looks like something where you could just do something like this. If you don't have Daisy, Golder, or Liz, you just run like this. If you don't have Merlin, then you could just run something like with this. I don't really build Killua. I kind of unbuilt her. Ever since I used to use her. I used to use her, but I turned my unbuilt her. But this is what you could run as well, just to get the burst. The other thing is what I would run instead of Golder. If you don't have any of the, but if you have like Daisy, Golder, and Liz, these are also pretty good setup. You get way more out of Golder with Daisy, but of course this drops onto Dairy. Then it's always good to have. So this is what I'm currently running those. So those are like the current gauntlet. Seems like none. I just run over here to my Melly team. You could run this Melly team you can run a Gotha burst or a Merlin burst. I would probably say run Merlin burst. The idea of running Merlin burst is that when you always combo also with Merlin, you can hit it, you can burst with Merlin, and then you can like just do like a cycle where like, yeah, Deri takes away your burst away with her ultimate, but then you take it away, but then you reactivate it. So like you burst with Merlin, you build up your mana charge really, really high, then you reburst with the combo, spam with melee, and then you have 60% plus crit damage on top of your melee, and you're spamming that onto the boss, so your melee's gonna be way, 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 way more broken. So Deri just makes the melee this way more broken in general. Even with alcohol, like, I'm actually, it's kind of funny because I'm not even using this axe. For axe Deri. The axe I was actually using is this axe, which seems a little bit weird. I was testing it out earlier. It only applies to Deri, yes it does. But like it helps her do more damage. So like when you're like in between cycles, where like you mess up your you mess with on your melee or spam, you can like swap into Deri, swap between the two, just to deal like equivalent damage. And if you're not spamming that, you're pretty much doing equivalent damage. So like a P4 melee, that's like spamming, like you're pretty much doing equivalent damage to that. So yeah, Deri on this is pretty decent. I'm still gonna test it. I'm not like fully recommending invest like for people that who can't invest in it to not invest in it. Like if you can, like you have all the resources, you know, and try it out, invest in it. But if you can't fully invest in it right now, don't fully invest in it right now. The reason why I did is because I have hundreds of purple magnets. So I was like, why not just invest in it, just keep it a turf. So if you can't, just don't do it. Not yet until like I'm totally done testing it, and I'm for sure that this is the best way to go. Obviously, that is if you don't have blazing. If you have blazing axe, you normally would want to go for a blazing axe on your Deri, because you wouldn't want to run blazing on your Merlin or your Blizz. So you usually want to go for a blazing axe. But if you are running like, let's say a staff Gotha instead to get the combo off melee, and you're not really using Deri ult, then you could just then that's when like you can substitute this with that, because you could just run blazing on Gotha. But if you're running like the burst spam with Deri ult, then you'd want to have blazing. If you don't have blazing yet, then if you have blazing, that's what you would want to invest in. Mostly. Also, you gotta take a look at her gray sword. I'm running black flame just for now. Just for like CC, nothing really crazy. You would probably want to use blazing as well. Like my opinion, like I like using blazing on like my support, my buffers and debuffers. But I think black flame has been pretty decent. My ultimate move damage on it is really good. Like I hit really hard with this ultimate. Like I pretty much been one shot. Like a lot of things. Like even like even the boss on just like not fully one shotting, but like I've been getting really good damage out of it. So like I personally went for black flame, but you could of course run blazing, or like maybe like something that like been like better. But I think black flame or blazing would be ideal. Then for gauntlets, is a lot of questioning. I would run for gauntlets. She has the highest ultimate move damage in the game, so giving her this right here, plus like a ultimate damage roll of any kind, just gonna make her absolutely way more stronger. Combo that with like a normal skill damage or a special skill damage. Most of the thing would be normal skill, but that's why I think that's honestly a really good roll. Cause you hit 2 hits off it, they hit pretty decent, and it's pretty well. Darkness damage increased. I had that the combo with a darkness attack, but I'm not sure if it does much, but like, I'm pretty sure it also combos with my darkness attack rain. That's just not even the right Deri. Yeah, I'm done my darkness attack rain. So yeah, that's what I've been running on Deri, and I'm only 6. I've been like one cycling the dragons that's P5, And for Greatsword, I could show you the team composition. Greatsword is a good thing. But team composition for Greatsword would be like Merlin, like that's kind of much. I don't know how to put first component, but Merlin, Escanor, Deri, or Deri, Escanor, and Liz, like that. I'll probably do something like this. I haven't fully built out my base sword yet, so it's gonna drop really crazy. But yeah, let's see what I would run. Like, if I'm running like a fire team, if I'm running like for Escanor, because like, with Merlin you get the free combo, then not at all. You get the free ult, you get a combo ult with Deri, and you also could have switched into like Escanor has 2 orbs. I think it's pretty sure it's 2 orbs on both ability on both ultimates, so he could just use 2 ultimates and then just do a lot of damage. He's pretty good. And also gives you protection. So this is what I would use for my fire team. But this is my opinion. I'm gonna say this is my opinion on the record. I wouldn't really use Deri Fire unless I'm like, you know, like just trying to play and have fun. Like, I have low potential for Escanor, like P4, or like T5, like or maybe even 6. Like, he isn't that great. So, like, he does get these really good buffs, but he is like not that great even for his like thing here. This here also move flash strike does 12% damage, so there's a little bit more damage on the spam. But the issue with the Escanor team is that it takes too much mana charge and too much setup to actually make good on a lower potential. That is lower than maybe like, let's say 7. Like, you feel like 6, 5, 4 or less. 7 is like really the cutoff, in my opinion, for like actually making them work in any sort of way. 8 is probably most recommended to actually make them good. Yeah, so you just make them work. And everything below that is just not the greatest. And yeah, people might say like Escanor is really good. Yeah, like you have to really invest. Like, I'm using BOG on Greatsword, the recommended to me, so I just have to use it. Even after using it, Greatsword still felt underwhelming and didn't feel as good. So you want to like to make him actually viable at P4 or like P5, P6. Like, you know, the weaker levels, you'd want to maximum break, get really good rolls, and like boss C1 is fully armor, which I haven't really gotten yet. The holy armor is probably make him like better. That they would make him really good, like probably up there with the others. And then this is not better than his sort of shield at the end of the day. Well, shield and axe at the end of the day. So that's in my opinion. Like, I don't really like to use Foley. Maybe there might be concept where Foley might come around and I might have to just, you know, use it just to use it. But I use King and Deanne for the Henderson boss one. And they did way better than my Holy Escanor in every way, shape, and form. So it's just like, Escanor is not that great. And whereas fire aspect, even at lower potentials, he's still not that great. Even probably at P4. If you're P4, he's not going to be any good for you. So you're my Escanor, like without Deri. If you P5, P6, but you probably shouldn't be running Escanor without Deri still. But it's like, you could make it work if you have really good investment at P6. Maybe like you can go like a little bit at P5. But like at P4, P5, P6, you should always be running the Deri on Escanor. Like the fire buffs and like the way that she supports Escanor is just so tremendous that like the only reason why he's like good right now for like lower potential players, honestly, if you're higher potential like P7, P8, 9, 10, maybe like it might not mean anything to you, but like P7 is like a little iffy, but P6 or P6, P5, P4 and below is like they're basically not really gonna do better than a Merlin. You're not gonna be able to do better than a Deri. You're not gonna be able to do better than a Nelly. And in my opinion, you're not gonna be better than King or Dian. That's just my opinion. He's not even a top 5 DPS when you're like this low of potential. That's just my opinion. And yeah, but like that's why I don't really have him built, is because he's just not that great. He does have really good weapons, but I have him built out. He's just not doing it for me. He's not a great character, like in the game. So that's my hot take. But if you order run a fire team, this here's what it will look like. And if I was to run a fire team, this is what it will look like. Something like this. That's because like Deri supports Escanor really well. And having that in versus, and then like Escanor do a lot more. They can even make Deri's ult do a lot more, which Deri's ult hits are really hard. It's like my Deri ult like one-shotted like multiple bosses, and again had them like huge amount of damage on bosses, probably even equal to Escanor though. She's just a buffer. So yeah, so take that as you will. This here is like an example to where you can run. If you don't have, if you're free to play and you don't have Merlin, but you have Deri, you don't have Escanor, then like it is going to be a little bit difficult. You could run Tristan burst, and then you could just run like Kilo DPS, just kind of like fill in the gaps. But if you didn't pull, if you didn't pull for Merlin or Daisy, it's just going to be a little bit hard for you. If you didn't pull for Escanor, honestly, like you're pretty much fine. Like you don't really need Escanor to do that much damage. Like you could just make it up with Gilo. Gilo can still do damage. Not better than Escanor, but like you will live. Like you will live without Escanor. Like there's like other options. Like I made Gilo more trying to tag on like 3-star players on science sectors. So it's like Gilo worked. You need to make it work. If you don't have Escanor, if you do have Escanor, then like this is what you kind of want to run. So yeah, those are just some viable seeds I like you from there. I don't know what I'm running right now. You can just look over one, but that used in Tyrannus before, and I got pretty good clear times. Yeah, you see it works really well for me. I'm only at P6, so we'll see what happens at P7. So yeah, so basically thank you guys for watching. And if you guys think that is a better team composition for Deri in any way, leave them down in the comments. Have a good one, try them out, and just watching.